Welcome back to another video, and today's Bible lesson is about dating, and we're going to see what the Bible says about dating. So right now I got some extra notes here, and we're going to read the story and then we'll go into the Bible verse and see what it says. Matt is so hot. I'm so thankful he's in my life. That's what Claire, who prefers to be called CJ, says. Even after 5 months of going out with Matt, here's the scoop on their relationship. The month of February, CJ brought Matt to some youth group meetings and activities. He told her that her church friends were okay. Maybe they could also hang out with his friends. He had never attended a youth group meeting before. The month of March, CJ asked Matt to the spring youth retreat. He just smiled and said, "Hey, C." He always calls her C. "That's not my thing, but if you decide to blow off that retreat, I can score us some tickets to the Amps concert." The Amps are only the hottest band ever. The month of April, CJ missed a couple more youth events in favor of partying with Matt and his friends. The month of May, CJ's church youth group attendance dropped drastically. She quit youth choir. On the month of June, CJ had her first cigarette and beer. She also slept with Matt for the first time. After all, they're in love. The month of July, CJ and her parents fought almost all month because she wouldn't break up with Matt. The month of August, CJ has now gone 4.5 months without reading her Bible. She isn't even sure where it is. Wait a minute. You say, do Christians, non-Christians relationships always turn out bad? Haven't Christians fallen in love with non-Christians and led them to the Lord? Yes, but that is rare. It's a sad fact that healthy Christians / non-Christians dating situations are the exception, not the rule. So we're going to read an extra note saying, 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 1 through 13 shows how you can get burned through close relationships with those who don't share your beliefs and values. And we're going to go ahead and read 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 1 through 13. We're going to see what that says. Solomon's many wives. Now King Solomon loved many foreign women besides Pharaoh's daughter. He married women from Moab, Ammon, Edom, Sidon, and from among the Hittites. The Lord had clearly instructed the people of Israel, "You must not marry them, because they will turn your hearts to their gods." Yet Solomon insisted on loving them anyways. He had 700 wives of royal birth and 300 concubines. And in fact, they did turn his heart away from the Lord. So Solomon's old age, they turned his heart to worship other gods instead of being completely faithful to the Lord his God, as his father David had been. Solomon worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Sidonians, and Moloch, the detestable god of the Ammonites. In this way, Solomon did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to follow the Lord completely, and his father David had done. He refused to follow the Lord completely, as his father David had done. On the Mount of Olives, east of Jerusalem, he even built a pagan shrine for Chemosh, the detestable god of Moab, and another for Moloch, the detestable god of the Ammonites. Solomon built such shrines for all his foreign wives to use for burning incense and sacrificing to their gods. The Lord was very angry with Solomon, for his heart had turned away from the Lord, the God of Israel, who had appeared to him twice. He had warned Solomon specifically about worshiping other gods, but Solomon did not listen to the Lord's command. So now the Lord said to him, "Since you have not kept my covenant and have disobeyed my decrees, I will surely tear the kingdom away from you and give it to one of your servants." But for the sake of your father David, I will not do this while you are still alive. I will take the kingdom away from your son, and even so, I will not take away the entire kingdom. I will let him be king of one tribe for the sake of my servant David, and for the sake of Jerusalem, my chosen city. Now that was very good example of King Solomon and his wives, and it can tie into the story that we read with Matt and CJ, how King Solomon had so many wives, but he wasn't following God's commands because he was trying to do what his wives love to do. And it's the same story like with Matt and CJ, where Matt wanted to do his own thing, but CJ wanted to truly follow God. So it ties into the same story with King Solomon and CJ and her boyfriend Matt. So let's read the extra note here. Based on Solomon's experiences in 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14, what advice would you have for CJ? So let's go ahead and read that. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 14. And that says, don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness? So the advice we can give CJ is that don't associate yourself with unbelievers because of the story that happened that we just read, where she was pregnant, she started drinking, she started smoking because she started not really giving her life to God like she used to, because of her boyfriend didn't really care about her values and her choice. So it's pretty much saying avoiding unequal relationships, and that's all it's saying. And it's a good lesson for us to learn about dating. And I like how it showed that extra note so that we can see CJ and Matt, how they turned out to be. I appreciate everyone watching, and thank you.